Welcome to Ideas that Shape Companies. And today we have a new case study. Toyota gave General Motors the entire playbook for free. They built a factory together, taught GM every secret, and let GM watch the system work for 25 years. GM still went bankrupt, the largest industrial bankruptcy in American history, requiring $50 billion in taxpayer bailouts. So, what did Toyota know that GM, even with the manual in hand, could not copy? The factory was in Fremont, California. Before Toyota arrived, it was General Motors' worst plant. Workers drank on assembly lines, some had sex inside the cars, others sabotaged the vehicles deliberately, hiding empty Coke bottles inside car door panels so they'd rattle and annoy customers for years. Cars came off the line with the parts missing. Some wouldn't even start. Absenteeism was so bad that managers had to drag workers out of the bar across the street. GM closed the plant in 1982. 2 years later, Toyota and GM reappointed as NUMMI, rehiring 80% of the same workers, the same people, the same union, the same building. Within 3 months, NUMMI was producing some of the highest quality cars in North America. Nothing about the workers had changed. The system around them had. The idea Toyota built was the opposite of how every American factory operated. American manufacturing treated inventory as a buffer: extra parts, extra workers, and extra hours, just in case something went wrong. Toyota saw something different. Inventory was hiding problems. Every spare part in the warehouse was a defect you weren't fixing. Every buffer was a question you weren't asking. So they stripped it out. Just in time delivery. Tiny batches. Parts arrived hours before they were used, not weeks. And then they did something no Western company would tolerate. They gave every worker on the line a cord. Pull that cord and the entire line stops. Production halts. Costs pile up by the second. But the problem gets fixed at the source immediately when everyone is watching. The cost of stopping the line was the price of never hiding a defect again. GM had access to all of this. They sent 16 of their best managers, the NUMMI Commandos, to learn. But back at the GM, they were reassigned to projects nobody cared about. The lessons evaporated. GM tried again at a plant in Van Nuys with teamwork training, but quality didn't improve and the plant closed. The answer comes from industrial anthropologist John Shook. The Western approach is to change how people think and assume behavior follows. NUMMI did the opposite. They changed the behavior first. They gave workers a system that made the right thing the easy thing. Stop the line when something is wrong. Help the person next to you. Respect the work. The values caught up later. Culture wasn't the input, culture was the output. GM kept trying to install the techniques on top of a culture that didn't respect the people doing the work. The transplant rejected itself every time. Now the Toyota system has costs. It is fragile to supply shocks. Fukushima and the COVID semiconductor crisis hurt them badly. Just in times means just in trouble. When the supply chain breaks, but the broader lesson outlived cars, becoming the basis for lean manufacturing, software agile, and how Amazon runs its warehouses. The deepest insight is this: the moat is not the system, the moat is the culture that runs the system. You can hand a competitor every page of your playbook, but if they can't change how people behave, they will watch you win for 30 years and never figure out why. NUMMI closed in 2010 and the building was sold to Tesla. But the cars Toyota and NUMMI made together for 26 years quietly outlasted almost everything General Motors built in the same era.